Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc., the channel all about bringing you as much nerdy content as possible. Today for you, we're in Dragon Village M, and we're going to be doing another Limited Dragon review. Alright, today we are covering Penelion, or as most people just say, we're covering the ponies. Let's get into this. As always, if you're new to the channel, please like the video and subscribe. If you enjoy content like this, I'm always trying to put out a Dragon Village M video every single week for you guys, hopefully 2 times a week. And your support is always greatly appreciated, showing that you enjoy the content that I put out. And if you really enjoy what I do, you can consider supporting me on Patreon. I'll have a link in the description below, and you can go and check that out. It's thanks to all of my patrons like Jeremy Turcozy and Himzit. Those guys are the reason that I'm able to put out this content for you guys every single week. So if you want to thank somebody, thank them. Also, if you join my Patreon, you can actually get access to my private Discord server where we're always talking about the game, talking about strategies, and if you ever need any help, you can go in there and put your question in and it'll get answered super fast, alright? So just something to look out for. But without further ado, let's look at these dragons, okay? These are support types. Of course, they're Nat 5s. They're limited dragons. So they're pretty difficult to get, but man, are they worth it. So flavor text reads, a mystical dragon that appears only in dreams of those with pure souls. The legend says that its holy horn is as bright as the sun and can purify all darkness. I don't know how that works with the darkness type, but we'll go with that, okay? But let's just jump right in here and let's look at these dragons' kits. Well, let's look at the stages here. So that's a little baby form. It's pretty adorable. I've seen there's a PvP player that runs around with all baby versions of their dragons, and because once you hit that 6-star max level, you can go in and change their appearance. That's the mid form and the adult form. Pretty cool, can't complain there. At first I wasn't too fond of the whole horse with I don't know, a mermaid tail going on, and a unicorn and a Pegasus all in one. But it's a good design in how good it looks, but the concept is kind of strange in a game full of dragons. But that doesn't mean this dragon is an awesome unit to have, which I would love to have. So let's look at here. So your leader skill on all of them is going to be all allies and HP is increased by 40%. So of course, full team, all of them are going to get the benefit. 40% is a pretty big margin there. It's a limited dragon, so naturally its leadership ability is going to be a higher percentage than all the others, higher than Nat 4s and regular Nat 5s and such. So no surprise that number is so big. But let's get in here and look at these drag skills, right? So we're on the Earth type here. Target count of 3, cooldown 20 seconds, inflict damage to the enemy with the power of Holy Light. Create a barrier on allies which can take damage equal to 6% of your max HP for 10 seconds. And then you can increase the duration up to a total of 15 seconds. So one of your barrier creating dragons here. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy out of the ordinary. Lots of dragons in the game can do stuff like this, so nothing that really, I don't know, screams to me that, oh, this is worth being a limited dragon for. You can also upgrade it with the drag skill when it's in adult form, has a 100% chance to stun attack type targets for 5 seconds. 100%. So that's no joke right there. 100% on attack types. So you got to go for those guys up front, so you can't go after the healers in the back or anything like that to stop them. But usually your attack types are the types you want to stun anyways. And for 5 seconds and a target count of 3, that's pretty good. So that makes up for the whole lackluster ability up here with the barrier. Let's go look at the water though, because the water's ability is decreased recovery rate for targets for 15 seconds at 100% chance. So that's like already got kind of the other ability wrapped in there, combined with the adult form. Sacred Force has 100% chance to stun targets that have below 50% of their HP for 5 seconds. So you're going to decrease the recovery rate. So this is what I'm talking about for the attack types and defense types, whoever really. If they're hurt and you need to finish them off, hit them with this and decrease that recovery rate. And if they're already that low that you want to get that recovery rate block in there, there's a good chance they're probably below 50% of their HP. So then you're also going to stun them, which not bad, but you have to time it right for it to really get its good benefit. So water type, I feel kind of a little lackluster compared to earth type for the drag skill, just a little bit. But light type is 80% chance to add up to 2 attack decrease effects on the target for 15 seconds. And adult form has 80% chance to stun recovery type targets for 10 seconds. For 10 seconds, that's huge. They definitely need a cleanse on that one. You just can't sit out for 10 seconds, and especially in a PvP match. I mean, you're dead in 10 seconds. But attack decrease effects, these are a little more uncommon. You don't see like something like this a whole lot. Attack decreasing effects. 80% chance, that's pretty good. So you're going to want to throw this on your attack type. Well, that's who you're going to, of course, be targeting. And 2 attack decreasing. So it's not like it's saying 1 on each. No, that's saying 3 dragons, if they're all attack types, are going to get 2 attack decrease downs. So pretty big stuff there. So they're going to be hitting like a wet noodle at that point. So combining with the recovery rate. So usually you're going to drop this on the back 3 units. Probably going to be like 2 DPS and maybe a healer. So you might get a stun in there as well as the other part here. So the attack decrease. So pretty good stuff. And then the dark type. 80% chance to decrease target's critical rate and critical damage for 10 seconds. We can bump that up to 15 seconds there. Decrease target's crit rate and crit damage. So the other one, the light type is, putting the 2 attack decreasing effects. This one's going to hit crit rate and crit damage. You know how many dragons that this is going to hurt in PvP? There's so many dragons that are being run right now that are scaling off of crit damage. And that's huge if you're going to start decreasing that and their crit rate. So they're relying on getting these crits, right? And if they don't get the crit, then they don't get the monstrous critical damage. And if they don't, like I said, so one plays into the next. So that's pretty great. And that's not all. So you can also go over here and look at the drag skill for the adult form. Has a 20% chance to silence targets for 12 seconds. Activation rate is increased as targets' HP gets lower. So silencing them on top of this, that is awesome. So no complaints there on that one. I think dark type wins overall in the drag skill department. So, but it's not over. We're gonna keep on going here. So dark type wins in the drag skill. So, but let's look at everything else. Every set duration, so every 12 seconds, which you go down to every 8 seconds. Attack an enemy at the front and remove all beneficial effects from the target. Not one beneficial effect. All beneficial effects. All of them. Hitting 2 targets. All those teams out there running Wonder Dragons, myself included, I'm running Dark and Water on mine, and you're going to be able to essentially end their zombie state with these. That's what I love about the ponies, is they're great counters to all those rogue Wonder Dragons that you run into in PvP that are super annoying. But not only that, you're removing all beneficial effects from the target. So all those attack buffs that they have on them, any kind of crit rate buffs, any buffs, all of them, gone. So not only is it good for those fights with the Wonder Dragon where you're trying to get rid of that zombie state, any fight, remove all beneficial effects. Jump over the water, same thing, same one here. All enemies at the front. Light type, and I believe, yeah, light and dark type, they share the same one, which is enemy with the lowest HP, and remove all beneficial effects from the target. So that's two target counts again, and every 8 seconds. These are perfect. Light and dark are perfect counters for zombie state, because guess who has the lowest HP? The guy with 0. That's who. So great counters for zombie states and Wonder Dragons in general. These guys are awesome. Also, usually your attack types and HP types, they have pretty low defense, so removing all beneficial effects from those guys. So great targets. So again, this time around, I would say Light and Dark type are going to win, just because I think they're most useful for getting rid of the zombie states, getting rid of those Wonder Dragons, right? Which is what this dragon's perfect at doing. So usually the zombie dragons are up front, but not always. Sometimes they're like in the back or in the middle or somewhere. And that's where these two are going to shine a little bit more than these two, because no matter where that zombie state dragon is, they're going to be able to take them down. So that's what I like about them. But that doesn't mean these other two, the water and earth type, aren't good, because I would say most of the time those zombie states are going to be out front. And even if you wipe the whole team and the only thing left is the zombie state, then you're still going to be able to take it out. As long as you have some buff removal, preferably all beneficial effects, because you don't want to remove one beneficial effect and they've got like 3 buffs on them, and you remove like the defense buff that the stupid Water Wonder Dragon has. Like, that's doing them any good. So being able to remove all beneficial effects is amazing. But we're going to jump over to the last skill here for these guys, because we already covered the very last one already. Sorry if the video is so choppy. I've got a terrible cough still, and it keeps affecting me, and I keep having to cut it out, so that's fine. It seems a little choppy. But Earth Dragon here, every set duration add up to 2 defense increase effects on attack type targets for 10 seconds. You also gain 1 mana. And you can increase this so that way it's every 15 seconds. So every 15 seconds you're going to gain a mana, and you're going to gain some sort of buff. All 4 of these you're going to get the mana on all of them. So right there, you're covering one of your big check marks in this game, and that is your teams really need to include a mana battery in some way, shape, or form. For those dragons that don't need mana batteries, like a Water Cat's gone, that can reduce the cost of their skills, then maybe like a timer reduction, a cooldown timer reduction, instead of a mana battery, that works too. But yeah, so these guys are going to cover your buff removal and your mana battery check marks, okay? As well as their kits, you know, like the stuns and all that awesome stuff. And that's why these guys are support types. I think they just cover so many different niches, or niches, however you want to say it. That's what makes these guys so good. Skylanders is doing something. I haven't played that game in forever. Also, I want to point out, target count of 5. You're giving these buffs to the whole team, not just 2, not the dragons with the highest defense. It does say attack type targets, so it is only going to affect those guys. But if you run a big old team full of them, then you're going to be able to give that to all of them. However, giving a defense increase effects on an attack type target, I feel like that just contradicts itself. That is the one part of this whole thing that I do not like, and that is giving, while it is 2 defense buffs on multiple dragons, giving it on attack types who probably, I doubt, are going to be scaling off their defense if they're attack types. just not too great. In PvP, if you're going to die, usually you're going to die to someone that's going to one-shot you, like a clown or an iris, something like that. So defense buff, but moving on to water here, so you got your mana, as well as every set duration, remove 1 harmful effects from an ally. Our whole team. Every 5 seconds, or every 15 seconds, sorry, reduced by 5 seconds down to 15. You're removing harmful effects. In PvP, fairly good. You're going to want to remove those, like the defense down, those are everywhere. It is kind of rare, but the attack downs, you can remove those. You're always going to have some sort of debuff on you. I wouldn't really worry about bleeds or nothing. The fights are so short that I don't think a bleed is going to really take you down that fast. Nothing that can't be dealt with. But those defense downs, those are pretty important to get rid of. So water definitely outshines earth so far, I think. Moving on to light, though, every set duration, increase attack of ally with highest attack for 10 seconds. This is only a target count of 3, but if you're running this in PvP, you're probably only going to have 2, maybe 3 attack types. So increase attack of ally with highest attack for 10 seconds. Yes, please. And of course, down to 15 seconds on the cooldown. So, attack buffs on your attack dragons. That's what I like to see. None of this defense, while the Earth did give 2 defense increasing effects, and this is only 1 attack, I just feel like it's so much more critical, and it just matters so much more. Alright, if you disagree, let me know. And then the Dark type at the very end here, every set duration grant immune effect to allies with very low HP for 10 seconds. Wow. So if you're running this guy with, I don't know, you know, I'm not really sure if that works like that. But I was thinking if you run them with the Wonder Dragons, and the Wonder Dragons have immune, can the enemy use buff removal on them? Right? So give them immune to like protect their zombie state. Does that work like that? I don't know. I don't think it does. It doesn't feel like it should. I feel like immune effect is a buff. So if you could remove that, you know. But yeah, so that's kind of finishes up the what we're dealing with here on these guys. I do like the I think the light wins in this second passive that we have, but overall dark is going to take it away. They have the better drag skill, I think. Reducing that crit rate and that crit damage in PvP is huge, as well as both light and dark have the same first passive, which is removing beneficial effects with the lowest HP. So I guess in a way you could say light and dark kind of tie, because dark type has the better drag skill, but light type has the better second passive, with that attack buff increase. So I don't know, I feel like we kind of have a tie between the light and dark on which one's better. However, like I said, that doesn't mean that the earth and water aren't amazing. I would love to have one of these guys that remove all beneficial effects. That's huge. The mana battery, that's always nice. And then the utility of their drag skills. 100% chance to stun attack type targets for 5 seconds. Use that in PvP and you're going to put yourself ahead for sure. Alright. But that's all I've got for you. Let me know in the comments below what you think, which one of these guys is the better option. Like I said, I think it's a tie between light and dark. Just depends on which one you need more. If the immune effect works with the Wonder Dragons, and you run a Wonder Dragon team, that might be the best dragon for you. Who knows? I will not be the judge of this one. So, but with that, thank you guys. If you've made it all the way to the end and you haven't already, please like the video, as well as subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like I said, I'm always trying to put out newer and better content, Dragon Village in video, at least once a week. Try to do twice a week for you guys. And also, if you really like what I do, check out my link in the description below for that Patreon. All right, thanks guys. We'll see you next time.